The
10:30.
stock market, meaning companies, new highs. I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the Internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. The no bullshit approach to all financial markets, from Bitcoin and crypto to political betting, and of course, the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. We're back, bitches, and this is Market Mania. Microsoft buys Activision. They waited 7 months to do it, just like we did. Matt Glantz, welcome back, baby.
What's up, Mike Gunn? What's up, Brett and Tony in the background? Good to see you guys back. It's been a good 6 months, but we're ready to go back at this. Crazy
Good to be back.
Happen again. So Microsoft today buys Activision, $69 billion. The stock was like $65 on Friday, and I think they're buying it for $95 a share cash. So it's like almost a 50% premium. And the question is, are they just buying it for Call of Duty, or are they buying it for the metaverse? You guys seem to know a lot about the metaverse, so that's my question. It seems like, Roblox is on its own. Facebook is going metaverse. I guess Microsoft already has Minecraft, but this seems to take them much further into the metaverse situation. What do we know, guys, about this metaverse thing?
I mean, I know. In terms of Activision Blizzard, they got way more than just Call of Duty. World of Warcraft, right, would be a great example of like a potential metaverse type of play there. And I know that Activision Blizzard also had a bunch of like problems lately. I think there were like sexual harassment or some sort of charges against leadership there.
They were kind of, the CEO is going to leave when this deal is completed, so Microsoft's going to be in charge and the CEO is out.
Yeah, so I don't know what was going on there, but like the IP they have is really strong. Call of Duty, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft. So yeah, I don't know how equipped Activision Blizzard is from a metaverse perspective on like the technical side, but the IP they have is really strong, really good. There's a lot of loyalty there. So I mean, it seems good for Microsoft. Like this is a strong acquisition.
So who's going to be the
even
big
the boomers
players in metaverse?
Even the boomers. Well, that's a boomer thing that you're saying. You're like, oh, Facebook made an announcement saying Meta, and then now they get metaverse. That's not how it works. Like,
well, they got the Oculus thing, right? That's their
Facebook. Right? Yes, Facebook's a strong contender there, like him or not.
Obviously, they're $1 trillion. Like, yes, massive. Like, yes, of course they're a strong contender. Of course they'll build their own metaverse. Of course, it'll be endlessly cucked. You're not going to go into like the backdoor metaverse VR sex rooms on Facebook. Sorry, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not the asshole here. That's just what human nature is going to do with it. You know it. I know it. CNBC won't say it out loud. I'll say it. It's just facts. That's the first thing people do with technology. But there are big winners. The winners haven't been decided yet. Activision is obviously, they make games. If you know all the crypto products that are pretend to be games, they're like half games. They're bullshit. They're not fun to play. They're not like addictive things like what, I mean, one of you guys just said World of Warcraft. Of course, that could totally be a metaverse. They could totally make it like some in-game, own all the stuff as NFTs. Something like that would blow the top off of it.
So, Micah, who are you thinking are the three most likely biggest players come out of all this?
I mean, I'm going to speak on it hard in about, I don't know. I mean, Tony, you better crank up the servers because I'm going to speak on it hard during the NFT rundown. But I mean,
all right, we'll wait for that.
Yeah. Decentraland. I mean, that's just where, that's where the Australian Open, they're kicking out Djokovic, but they're in the metaverse.
Free Djokovic. Like
basically balanced.
Cowards.
One negative, one positive. But where did they build? They build in Decentraland because that's the premier
They were the first one. Right, there's a few startups like Decentraland. Sandbox is another one that caught a lot of heat. And so there's going to be a lot of competition on that side. You're also going to have like the Facebooks, potentially the Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard type of players come in.
Voxels,
also,
the budget version, the Costco version, Crypto Voxels. No offense, I'm just saying it.
So yeah, I think it's too early to call Decentraland a winner. They're definitely in contention though.
Brett, what do you got for us on like DraftKings and Penn here? The only non-metaverse play of the day for us here.
Yeah, so we got some questions on Twitter asking like, what the hell is going on with these stocks? We all come from the gambling world, right? I have a lot of friends. I'm not personally invested in these stocks, but I have a lot of friends who buy these stocks and are like, what the hell?
And every $5 lower, they buy more.
It's been a bloodbath, right? And the pandemic was supposed to be good for these stocks, and they're getting market share in these states, right? As sports betting rolls out throughout the U.S., DraftKings especially is spending a ton of money. They're really using their status as a Goliath in the space to sort of keep competition out. But the customer acquisition costs are really high. Like they're hemorrhaging money. They're basically overpaying to gain market share in these early states, and it's the market here doesn't seem to be responding very well to that strategy. But it's like I don't see how they could even become profitable, right, in this environment. So it's a tough sell for me, but at some point, right, it seems like it's too cheap. Matt, what do you think about these stocks?
Okay, so we're DraftKings 22, right? That was a $10 SPAC, just like all the other SPACs back in the day. So it went up to like, I don't know, 60,
70, something up there, yeah.
So now it's back down to 22. I mean, their spending is out of control, but they're doing basically what like Amazon and other companies like Tesla, big growth companies did at the beginning, and they're spending, not worrying about spending tons of money, just keep raising money, offering more stock and spending money, and then hopefully they'll be the number one winner in the long run. I think that's their goal. Penn, still $42 a share. That was down to like, I think $6 at the beginning of the pandemic.
Bottom tick like $7-8. That's
right?
the craziest run for Portnoy.
Craziest run. It went from $6 to 140. And that's when it got added to the S&P 500 at 140. And it's less than a year later, and it's now down to 42. So that didn't do well for the people that own S&P 500 funds. And Penn holders are kind of upset. Porty's, he's not doing a stock market broadcast like us every day anymore because I don't think he's so salty about Penn. But, it's tough, man. These things, it's like the gambling world. Everyone knows there's a lot of money to be made in the gambling world. But the customer acquisition costs seem enormous, and I don't know if they're going to get their money back in the long run. That's the whole goal.
That's in the.
I'm playing Penn right now. I just see step back. That had some weird
Penn at 42 there, Mike. On
the video of Portnoy came out where he's destroying that female, and like everybody hated. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like that.
I don't think that really matters the stock because this is Portnoy. Like people are. If it was Jason Robbins, that might have been a different story. But like Portnoy.
I'm sorry, I'm getting my Portnoy sex scandals mixed up. Actually, it was the one where the girl accused him of general
that was basically fake, like the insider hit piece that was just made up.
I mean, who the fuck knows? I mean,
it was pretty much made up. Do a little research. That article should not have been published.
I'm going to pull a card from your deck and do no research and have a strong opinion about it.
All right,
is what I'm going to do.
That is a card straight out of my deck.
And that shit tanked on that news. That stock price tanked on that news.
I just
honestly think Omicron might be over. Everyone I know has Omicron now. It's going to be over soon, and then everyone's going to go back to Penn National gambling facilities.
So, Omicron being over might not be great for online gambling.
Yeah, that's
might be good for brick and mortar gambling, but maybe not so good for online. People stuck at home seem to want to gamble more.
Penn's weird because they don't have the budget DraftKings does.
Penn's a brick and mortar play.
They have Portnoy, right. But like DraftKings, they're spending all this money, right? They want only 2 companies allowed in a state or something. Like New York has this really expensive, really exclusive license. That's great for DraftKings. That's what they want. They just want market share, so they're willing to pay these crazy amounts. But sports betting's not that profitable, right? They make more on the casino, actually, DraftKings, than on sports betting.
For these guys, it's all about customer acquisition costs versus long-term revenue of those customers. So let's say they spend, I don't know, $600 to acquire a customer. If they can't make $1,200 off that customer in the first 3 years, they're not really doing a good job. They're not going to make money.
Well, we shall see if we continue to do the show or if we take 7-month breaks in between shows. We will track that one for you. Now, NFTs. This is, since we last left you, our loyal market maniacs, We have had a total. It's a shit show. The shit has hit the fan. It's splattered on the walls, and then it's like no one's cleaning it up. So there is billions and billions that have flown into NFTs since we last spoke. I know that doesn't seem even possible, but I mean, you got to pull up that one of the links that I sent about the market cap of these things, because celebrities are totally on board now. Jimmy Fallon has a Bored Ape. Reese Witherspoon has like a purple World of Women on there. And I mean, I fucking love Reese Witherspoon. Election, Cruel Intentions, Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking Brett Ritchie. I'm a sucker for a smart, sexy Southern woman lawyer. I mean, that shit is like, that's my wheelhouse. All right.
Yeah.
And
that would be your plus one there, Micah?
That's my plus one. That's my plus one at the house. And I mean, real talk, Reese, I don't need your money, baby. Let's just, go get lobsters on the private island here. Just, hit me up. I'm down with NFTs, girl. I got the frogs. But anyway, I digress. The once mighty CryptoPunks now play second fiddle to the Bored Apes. Brett Ritchie, how about that flippening? I'm still in the middle of a rant, but Brett, I do want to hear what you have to say about that, because you are the most dialed in NFT person I know. No offense, Matt Glantz, on that.
I honestly never thought the apes would flip punks the first time through, right? The CryptoPunks owners are a very wealthy group, fairly like elitist, I would say, in their thinking. A lot of them, like they're very remind me a lot of Bitcoiners. This was like first, and therefore it's the best, and like it's a religion to some extent. And a lot of them are extremely wealthy, much more so than apes, where a lot of people bought these for cheap in April, and they just ran it up on apes, right? So where the ape could be a larger percent of their net worth. So I thought that the wealthy punks owners, who tend to have a bit of an ego about their punks ownership and status, would protect the punks floor, right? When the apes came close, I thought that the punks elitists would be buying up punks, and it didn't happen. The team behind punks is really not liked too much in this space. Most people consider them a pretty big negative to the CryptoPunks brand, whereas the Bored Ape team has just executed really well, and they just keep marching.
Now, obviously, I'm still mid-rant, by the way. Thank you very much for that, Brett. Is that you got to see you have to, even if you hate all this shit and you don't think a monkey picture should be worth $300,000
and
you
GMI.
can't get past that. That's true. And but you need to sit there and admit to yourself, something has happened. A lifestyle brand that Jimmy Fallon, Reese Witherspoon, Steph Curry briefly, fucking Jay-Z, there's like a whole bunch of celebrities that have flexed a punk or an ape or some other dumb shit. World of Women are with women now, which I don't fucking understand why that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you understand it or not, or if you think that it's good or bad, or it's too expensive, it's elitist, I hate it, I love it. Something has happened. Lifestyle brands got created last year. They're less than a year old, that command massive value, $2 billion plus in the market cap of punks and apes. And even your humble co-host, you guys, like some of you guys know me as the icon or whatever, 2/3 of your Market Mania hosts have gotten into the NFT game hard. Brett Ritchie and I have gone hard. You guys know me as the icon. You know him as Two Kangs. All right. But it's true. But actually, people, the new kids, my new followers over there, they all know me as the Rare Pepe dealer. I'm the artist of Series 27, Card 9 of the Rare Pepe counterparty set, the old school legit Pepes, made 2016 to 18. While you guys...
Oh, Mike,
you sound like a robot. Michael, you're back to robot, man.
You're going roboting right now.
Goddamn right, I'm robot on him. Damn right.
There we go.
Back.
Much better.
Yeah,
back.
you're good.
Just switching the camera, see? I fucking hack shit. I'm a fucking hacker, too. But I am the Rare Pepe dealer. You can see all of my Pepes both there and it's fucking Decentraland Rare Pepe Gallery.
Wow.
This is the metaverse here, man.
Oh, all the bitches
That's
love
the fucking
me,
metaverse, bitch.
'cause I got my Pepe cash. All the bitches love me,
All the bitches
'cause I
do
got
love
my
me.
Pepe cash. Oh, all the bitches love me,
I'm gonna do
'cause I got my
something.
Pepe cash. All the bitches love me, 'cause I got my Pepe cash.
All right, kill that. Kill that. That's amazing. First of all, but
That's the metaverse,
That's the
Matt.
metaverse. That's the metaverse, Glance.
That's
When
the
you-
metaverse
oh,
art gallery, huh? Okay.
Facebook might build it. Okay, I've had land in there for 3 years. You know, MyCon comes early. Half you guys listening, I gave you your first Bitcoin. You guys know. So what happens? You see, I have a bunch of Pepes. I'm an artist. You guys have to call me an artist. And
You're
so
an artist.
I built with the help of Rizik, who's a talented Spanish architecture student. I built the Rare Pepe Gallery in the metaverse, and people go and marvel at the Kandinsky and other fine Pepe works, like all the Zed pieces in there. That's a herring from Zed. I mean, this is dank shit. This is historical blockchain crowdsourced street art. There ain't nothing like this. There ain't nothing like this. Companies tried to bottle this and sell it, but we were minting it in 2016 before anybody called an NFT. But
Mike,
the future
excuse
of
me.
NFTs.
From,
Yes.
from all the boomers out there, including me, who have no idea what's going on with these NFTs, just to get a perspective, I need you to fill in the blank here, either one of you guys. So let's say we bought a Bored Ape in April, the median Bored Ape, at what price?
Yeah. I bought 2 for 0.6
20K.
ETH. So
At the time, how many dollars at the time?
like $1,000.
So you could buy a Bored
Maybe it
Ape
was like
in April for
$1,500.
$1,500. Then at the
Yeah.
peak, when was that?
Right now.
Now,
Oh, we're at the peak now.
200K.
200K, the median. Okay, so we're talking
The floor. No, I'm talking cheapest,
150.
not median. So in NFTs, there's the concept of the floor, which is the cheapest item in a set.
Okay.
That's where most of the liquidity is. People like to buy the floor, especially because the apes are getting tokens. They're getting Bored Ape tokens. So any ape is going to have the same value in terms of token.
All right, this is good stuff.
So basically, the floor is like the main metric people look at. Obviously, the rarer, cooler apes command a premium.
A gold
Sometimes
ape is
very
like $3
significantly. Yeah, gold ape sold for I think $3 million. Right,
Oh,
with the
wow.
cheapest one is 200K. The really rare one is going to be a few million. But for
So-
the most part, almost all the action is going to be concentrated in the cheap ones.
The CryptoPunks, they peaked in the summer. Is that right?
Somewhere there, they hit 300K, 400. I don't know what ETH was. They hit over 100 ETH floor. I think of in ETH also, by the way, not dollars, just ETH and NFTs. And they hit over 100. They hit over 100 ETH floor. Now it's I think 60.
and it's still $250,000 USD, and it's still a $2 billion plus project, just like the Bored
Yeah.
Apes. And I think it's important to realize when you say NFTs, in 10 years, that's going to mean something a lot different. These are collectible NFTs. These do nothing. Eventually, that ticket to like that NBA game is going to be an NFT, and you're going to want to sell it to somebody, and you'll do so trustlessly. And then that NFT will just get transferred, and that person will scan whatever and redeem it or burn it on the way into the show. That's what these things will be. They will be Fortnite skins. You will do something with your NFTs in the future. Someone's going to build a battle royale game. You're going to fight them with each other. Zed is already building racehorses, and you race them and bet on it. So right now, these are just collectible NFTs, and I wonder what the market will happen to them in the future. I really wonder.
If you look at OpenSea last year, 2021, I think there were only like 1 million wallets total using OpenSea, and that's where 95% of the NFT volume is. And people can use multiple wallets. Like I was 12 of those million wallets, right? So the actual number of users, a few 100K users in NFTs for the most part. And the pace is just booming. And so I don't know. I think I said this even before when we were doing Market Mania. I don't necessarily know which NFTs are going to be big, and like a lot of these are going to turn into dust. But the space itself, I'm super bullish on the future of. More people are getting involved. You see the celebrities. NFTs are they're fun. They make a lot of sense, and there are ways to get ownership of a product you use. Like we've been getting. If you're active on OpenSea, you've been getting these valuable, 4 or 5 figure airdrops based on your activity, which is really the sort of the Web3 ethos, is that you get by participating in a network, you get to share some of the benefits of the upside if this network becomes more adopted. Whereas like if you drove for Uber or whatever, right? If you're one of those first drivers, you saw nothing for helping bootstrap that network to this multi-billion-dollar behemoth. So
People
yeah,
are staking that looks airdrop. They're making $500 a day.
yeah. I
I
paper handed mine the other day. Now might get back in, but yeah, it's I'm really bullish. And the games, they're all horrific. A lot of it is reminds me of something like 2005 poker. Where everyone's just kind of figuring things out on the fly. A lot of the infrastructure is not really super robust yet. So it's definitely a bit Wild West out there. And there's a lot of scams. There's a lot of bad actors. But it's also just really fun. So I love the space.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen by far and away. I love every bit of it. Part of why I like the Rare Pepe is just because for me, it's a walk down memory lane. It's like a snapshot of 2016 to 18, which was like a crazy time in crypto. I mean, it's always a crazy time in crypto. ICO boom, all the ETH shit stuff. I don't know. It was crazy. It was just amazing. And all the political stuff too. But this Dune NFT, it's not for boomers, this show today. Tony, the producer.
Tony,
haven't seen your face in a half year or so, in about a 20% of a pandemic. How have you been doing? Have you been having a good, good COVID?
I have been thriving, but I have missed you guys quite a bit. I'm glad we're back at it here. We're on a mission from GAT to get the band back together.
Here,
and
here.
It sure feels like it. So thanks for joining me again. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We've had a lot of chat activity. I saw a question come through, Matt, I'm going to ask you about here before we close up to the pick of the day. But before we get to that, this story is a little near and dear to my heart. Following up with your NFT conversation, there's this interesting story about this crypto group called Spice DAO. DAO is Decentralized Autonomous Organization, which purchased this Alejandro Jodorowsky book based on the Dune movie that Jodorowsky wanted to make back in the 70s. And this is all the art that they were going to use to adapt it. Now, they paid $3 million for this art book at a Christie's auction. And then the guy who bought it, I guess, sold it to Spice DAO for something like 12, probably just to drive up the assumed price of what NFTs would come out of this. And what they were going to do was scan this book, destroy the original copy, and release all of the art as itself NFTs, and then even the act of destroying the book was going to be an NFT, that video of doing that. And so they thought they were going to take this book and make a ton of money reproducing it in the digital world, only to bump up against copyright law. Now, they're looking at a lawsuit if they try and release this as NFTs, because even though they bought the book, that doesn't transfer the copyright over to them. The Dune franchise is still owned by someone else, and so now they're looking at a lawsuit if they want to release these as NFTs. But my question is, what's to stop them anyway? If you ask me, the controversy surrounding this would be enough to drive up the price of the NFT. It seems like a piece of history, this of digital property history anyway. I mean, this stabs up against subjects like intellectual property ownership, and where NFTs can violate those. And let's say you start making Mickey Mouse NFTs tomorrow and they're really successful and you get sued. Does it matter if you make more money on the back end, on the controversy? Can people still be buying those on OpenSea or other NFT platforms? I don't know, Brian. What do you think? Is this kind of like a smart thing for them to do regardless of the copyright problems?
I mean, you're like the shenanigans NFT. Yeah, I mean, copyright problems. I mean, blockchain don't care. When you buy or sell something, like an Ether
kind
doesn't
of
care. It does. You're right. OpenSea can ban it.
OpenSea will ban.
Sure.
They'll take projects down, right? So OpenSea is basically just a UI to the blockchain, but it's 95% of the action. So if you're not on OpenSea, you're really going to struggle to get buyers. So like OpenSea would definitely not list this thing. We'll get to it on my pick of the day, because I do find this is an interesting what IP and Web3 is interesting. But like, these guys were probably doxxed to some extent to win this auction, right? I don't know if it was an anonymous entity that won the auction. So if they went ahead and just did it anyway, what's the buying demand like for this pirated? Like, to me, they wasted their money, right? It was supposed to go for 25,000.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Irene Dow. That crazy, like, it's the same kind of like discussion where like if some guy just like buys pictures of a model and then like pretends to be the fucking female, drop the NFTs, Everybody
Yeah.
thinks they're buying access to the theme. It's like it's the same type of. What if he stole those pictures? It's like the same type of copyright kind of like incompatibility with blockchain. And Brett brought up that new site Looks Rare. They basically have the same thing OpenSea does, where like it's a contract to do an atomic swap for an ERC 721 token. So I want to buy Brett's NFT. I want to pay X ETH. He agrees. He signs something listing it for sale. I sign something saying, okay, let's do the transaction. And then that smart contract swaps it. He gets my ETH. I get his NFT. I get his simp NFT.
And Looks Rare is interesting because they have a token, right? So you actually get the trading fees go to the users of the platform essentially. You stake the token and then you earn ETH and their token. And so it's an amazing feature. If OpenSea had a token, it would absolutely crush. And so that is a potential attack on OpenSea is can you use this token to drive the volume away from OpenSea? So we'll see how that plays out. So far, they've been doing pretty well, but a lot of the volume is artificial. And so as the rewards drop, we're going to see what happens there.
This particular happening, the Looks Rare token and how it out. Sorry to just go on a massive tangent, Tony, from your Dune NFT, but it's so impressive what's happened because the regulation always tries to cuck innovation. And like the way that people want to do it is with the way Looks Rare is doing it, where here's a token. If you're an NFT buyer and seller, if you're using the platform, it's just like poker where you paid the rake, where you paid a fee.
Yeah, it's rake back.
Now if you're that same head paying fees, and like you can go to fees.wtf, who randomly also did an airdrop, but you can see how much you've paid over time. I don't know, Brett. I'm sure yours is atrocious. I'm sure you've
I got a lot of in that fees there. I've definitely, especially like in the summer, I was just in all the gas wars, so no problem. Yeah.
People want to get a piece of that action. It's a smart contract. People want, if they're the volume, they want to get some of those fees. They helped you build the site. They helped enrich the founders. And so by doing this, I don't know what regulatory issues. There's probably tons of regulatory issues.
There's a lot, I'm sure.
And that's why OpenSea won't do it.
I would love an OpenSea token, but I'm not holding my breath. They just hired some guy from Lyft, who's like took Lyft public, I think. So it seems much like they're just going to go public. But
people hate to say this, but that OpenSea wants to give that token out.
They do, but also if you're the founders there, you're billionaires, do you need to take the risk on, right? Your investors are successful, your employees are successful, you're billionaires. Yes, you would like, users. I'm happy as an OpenSea user, to be honest, right? OpenSea's been good to me, even if I didn't get the token. So do you want to add into the risk by putting out a token as a U.S. company? My
point is that the regulation stifles the innovation. That's my only point.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm not saying no, but it's just that, and then they'll come out. Oh, here's a governance token. If OpenSea did come out with a token, the language would be so completely cucked.
I don't think people would care. People would buy it anyway. Any OpenSea token, buy. Click the buy button.
I think it's just important to always observe that the idiot regulation makes it so that we can't have really super nice things. That's all I think it's just.
Does it
important.
bother you guys at all that I have no idea what you guys are talking about?
Not at all.
Just going way over my head. Not a clue.
I messaged Tony because I'm going to do this for like an hour. I'm going to invite Brett on in my Pepe gallery. I need to tell people.
If you were talking about interactive brokers and whatever's going on with your fund, Matt, I would feel the same as you feel right now.
I'll tell you what, Matt. Let's bring it over to something you might understand.
Soda Popinski.
I'll
give away the first 3 addresses. I'll give a Soda Popinski to.
Ooh.
Post your Rare Pepe wallet address. I'm
throwing
they're $100 each. And you guys all get one too.
Oh,
wow. Good get. Matt, before we go to pick of the day, here's something you might understand. Peter Gazer from chat is asking, will we have round 3 of the GME AMC squeeze?
There's no way to know, but I doubt it. I mean, that ship has sailed. Basically, people had unlimited money from the pandemic and were stuck at home and just wanted to just gamble on something, and there was no sports at the time, and people just pushed GME and AMC and other meme stocks. We were one of the first guys on AMC before it squeezed. I think we were pumping AMC here at like $2 or $4.
You picked it way early. Yeah.
It was $2.50 before the whole craze started. But we saw these orders come in, option orders left and right from retail, and it just looked weird. But you don't see that anymore. We don't see that kind of order flow, so I doubt it. But there are certain stocks that are squeezing one at a time. Like right now, the Trump stock is squeezing. What's the name of the Trump stock?
Oh, Truth Social or something.
DW's. I'll tell you exactly what it is in a second. Where is it? That piece of shit stock. It's a $10 SPAC. It's now $80. DWAC. The Trump. It's a meme stock. There's no value to it. It's probably a $5 or $10 stock, and it's $80, and it just keeps going up. So we'll see when that thing crashes or how far it goes up.
Wow. Okay.
It's crazy.
And then just a general question.
Play Ponzi.
We got robot voice again there, Mike. You got to switch off.
Do your mic thing there. Final question here. Are we seeing the start of a correction in markets for a little bit, then resume the buying? Or is this a downward trend we're looking at in markets? Let's take a look at SPY here. I would tell you, I woke up this morning to seeing the 10-year right there, right there, skyrocketing, and I knew it would be a tough day for markets, but my main thesis is that they'll never let markets drop, that this might be a dip worth buying. What do you guys think?
It's tough. This is a bad time seasonality for the market. Usually the end of January is kind of a bad time, and then February usually picks up with a nice rally. So there might be some more pain to come, and the market looks like shit today, but the first day of every week looks like shit. Like last Monday, the market, we were closed yesterday. Last Monday, we were buried. Today, we're buried, and then bounced at the end of the day last Monday, and Tuesday was a huge up day. So who knows? Tomorrow could be a huge up day. It's just there's no way to tell with this market.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for our questions from chat. Let's get to the Market Mania pick of the day.
Oh. Uh-oh. It's been a half year, but you know what this means. Safety glasses on. It is the Market Mania pick of the day. Matt Glantz, what pick of the day you got saved up for 7 months in there?
Matterport, MTTR. It's a old SPAC that's kind of left for dead. It's buried in the last couple months with every other stock. $13 now. It's basically they're digitizing all the commercial real estate in the world. So they're going to have all the data, and that's going to be a big part of the metaverse in my mind, what I know of it. So Matterport.
There we go. Matt's got a metaverse play for us.
There you go.
Backdoor.
I like that. I'm gonna tail you on that.
I hold some. Brett Ritchie, pick of the day.
So I'm going way off in the weeds here. My pick of the day is Clone X, which you got to get on Uniswap. You can find it on Fractional. But Vincent Van Dough, one of the most influential NFT influencers, collectors out there, fractionalized a Clone X, which was this company, Artifact, created Clone X. Nike bought Artifact, right? Artifact, right after they raised like $100 million. So it's got to be a hefty acquisition tag. And then Nike has all these terms in there. You're not allowed to fractionalize one of these. So this guy fractionalized it, coming back to that IP debate Tony was talking about with this book, fractionalized it against the terms and conditions. So you can buy these tokens that are shares of this underlying Clone X. For me, this is a play. It's like a 500K market cap or so total. It's a play on memes. It's a play on meme culture. If Nike comes in and starts suing people, I could see this thing really running. Very high risk gamble, but I really like this sort of FU to the lawyers and suits coming into this space. And there's memes, there's contests every day. There's a new art piece attached to this. So yeah, I like it. It's crazy, very high risk, but it's my pick of the day.
Information wants to be free, and information evidently wants to be owned and wants to be fractionally owned. VVD, no big deal. He's in my DMs. It's whatever. Just whatever, being the rare Pepe dealer. I mean, it's cool. My pick of the day is going to be Coinbase. And a lot of people are like, I could have grabbed a sexier pick. I could have grabbed like Brett and did a fractionalized NFT, but I got to keep it real for my people looking for alpha that have a 401k or a self-directed IRA or just a fund that they're trading themselves. But you look at this stock, even a guy like Matt sees less than 20 PE ratio. This thing shits out money. Everybody overpays like a motherfucker on Coinbase. That's just what it is. It's just a money printing machine. Every donk, doctor, lawyer, whoever That's like, well, just buy the Bitcoin on Coinbase. Oh, I'll take 40,000 worth. How much is the fee? $412. Okay, no problem. Hit enter, and away you go.
And
they
Coinbase
just pay
is
it all
obviously
day
going to
long.
open an NFT marketplace soon, right?
NFT marketplace. I mean, they're just Brian
have
Armstrong's
to.
worth $9 billion.
They've announced
now.
it already. Yeah.
He bought the CEO of this company bought a $133 million home. Now, this isn't like my heart is with Jesse Powell and Kraken.
By the
And
way,
they go public,
Mike, the
pump
Nikola
that.
guy bought a $130 million home too, if you remember.
So
He
Brian
had the nicest
Armstrong,
house in Utah. It's a sick house.
Yeah.
not in good company, Brian. Not in good company. But a very important hope. I think Coinbase is very important fundamentally to protecting Bitcoin from laws that America might make
What
against
price is Coinbase today? I can't see it.
225 earlier today. I can't read what that says now. But I mean, it's just you're getting a great
It's value
deal on
to
it.
Yeah, 222.
222 PE ratio less than 20. I
Right.
mean, like
Pure
this thing
value,
could just
value time.
explode. The reason why it trades so low is because the regulatory risk against it. People are worried that this cash cow will just get a law made against it. And so they're a little tentative, but that's where it's at now.
But they have a ton of lobbyists. They fire a lot of money on the American
That's why they're
way
important.
is to get big and then pay the government to block your competition.
Oh, and their corporate culture is
That's-
very unwoke. That's another positive.
Yes,
That's both things are very important to
Yeah.
this. I mean, they really are. They really exactly what Brett said too. They're gonna battle on behalf of us crypto nerds in that dirty, filthy
Well,
political game that nobody
to
wants
some
to
extent.
play, that
They're gonna
nobody-
battle
that
for
everybody hates. and loathes.
Coinbase's interests, right? They're not going to battle
But-
for the Kraken or like some of these other startups. It's going to be how can they wall off? That's just how that DraftKings is the same playbook, right?
It's just filthy.
DraftKings
It's
doesn't
how
want
it
some of
works.
these startups. They don't want sport trade in these markets, right? They want only the really big pocketed players. Work with the government to block your competition. It's just Uber. That's just the playbook.
I guess I
that's
could
the
argue
system.
both sides of the Coinbase coin. I could argue both sides of the Coinbase coin. I think that they won't make it like totally illegal because Coinbase will be there to defend that. But you're right; they'll only act in their own interest, and that might.
No, I think it's a positive overall, but it's not like they're going to be some white knight for the whole space, right? It's
Sure.
still going to be what's
Full
best
agree.
for Coinbase.
All right, we broke the record
Full
for the
agree.
longest pick of the dice segment of all
$130
time.
million house is not a minimalist. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Market Mania. It's been a little bit of a 7-month, just a wee bit of a break in between, just to get you all fired up, just to get you all ready to go, geared up for us. We're going to leave you with one from Wes Walker and DYL. This is from their hit track, Jordan Bell 4. Goes something like this. I've been getting dirty money, Jordan Bell 4. Stacking penny stocks while I'm flipping these birds. Sipping on Ciroc, trip 'em up with the words. I just popped a Molly, and I think this be my third. Like and subscribe, just in case we do this more frequently than once a year. And I think the line, Matt Glantz, was, how does it go?
We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you sometime. If there
We'll
is a
see
sometime.
you sometime, if there is a sometime. But for now, it's lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine.
Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold, number domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl.
Switch it up.
I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard, got the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury, however turn it where I would turn it. Can't lie like Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I should've looked the other way. Couldn't clear space, and my mind was afraid of the time strobe lights like in the moonlight.